All right. So, this is going to be my review of the Toy Story Collection Woody, which, of course, is a little bit late in the making because these came out quite a while ago. And a little information. The first wave of them, which was Cloud Logo, would have had real denim jeans, and then they kind of went to a faux denim type of a thing. And as far as I know, it didn't say that it had real denim jeans on the box. So, I mean, it's not like it's that big a deal. It still looks great, and they feel a little bit like denim. I don't have the box for mine, so I'm guessing this is a yellow label. Possible white label, I suppose. But I don't have the box, and that's fine with me for multiple reasons. One, Woody, saw Woody's box in the movie, so not a big deal. Two, collecting things in the box is great, but if you leave the batteries in there and keep them in the box and don't ever take them out and just leave it sealed, those batteries are going to corrode and go bad, and chances are you're going to ruin the electronic functions of whatever you are collecting if you leave it in a box. So I kind of would rather get something that is out of box, and maybe if it comes with a box, that's great, but has been taken out of box, batteries have been removed, either put back in the box for display or, just left out, because then you don't have to worry about battery corrosion and all the stuff that can go wrong because of that. This Woody, when I got him, I got a good deal on him on eBay. He came with the original batteries still in him that nobody had ever changed out from being in the box. So I'm not wasn't a huge fan of that, but they were okay. I got him out. He's got new ones in, and before I put him back after this review, I will remove the batteries. So here's a reminder: if you collect any kind of anything that takes batteries, take the batteries out when you aren't using it. It'll last a lot longer, and you won't have to worry about corrosion and everything. So let's get into the review. And my angles on my camera, you're gonna have to work with me here. Actually, I'm gonna pause it to bring him up closer first. So be back in 1 second. It'll be like a split second for you. Okay, so taking a quick look at him. He has a nice shade of jean, and it feels, it's convincing, but it's definitely not denim. I'm kind of curious. I haven't seen anybody talk about this on the ones with denim. But like his tag says he's made of polyester. So does the denim one say on the tag polyester and denim? I'm just curious because nobody's ever mentioned what the tag says on the ones with the denim jeans. I kind of want to know. His boots are done very nicely. Of course, you can see his cactus inlay. He's got his details on the front of his boot. Spurs, painted gold. Belt buckle is gold. Very nicely done boots. He does not have open hands, but I'm not really, too ridiculous about that. I like these hands. My personal opinion. His belt buckle, see if I can zoom in on that for you. His belt buckle is very nice. Lots of good detail in there. See, he's got belt loops as well. So that's a very nice thing. Coming up here, there are people who mod his buttons to like real kind of pearl snap buttons. I think these look great the way that they are, and I don't really want to mess with this myself. I'd rather keep it original, because most of the time people who collect stuff, if you really want value to go up on anything, and basically I just have this because I like Toy Story. I'm not super worried about value. Actually, I think most of this stuff on eBay is really ridiculously inflated right now as far as price people want for this stuff. Especially, like I said, if it's in box with like the original batteries still in it, because if they are corroded and they have ruined the electronics and there's no saving it, when you spend like $400 or more on something like this, and you know, that's a ridiculous price to begin with, even if you collect them, in my opinion. But if you spend that much on it, you know, and the batteries are shot and have, you know, destroyed the electronics, then basically all you're getting is, for using this as an example, all you would be getting is cloth and plastic that is put into the shape of woody, you know. I mean, the price is ridiculous. Like, there was somebody, I had something on my watch list earlier, it was a woody. It wasn't a signature collection, it was just like an older woody. Inbox, they sent me an offer and wanted me like to pay $900 for this thing, and I was like, no, that's like a used car, you know. You get a used car for that, and some issues probably, but you could, if you were lucky, you could find a used car for that. I'm not going to pay $900 for a action figure, collectible, whatever you want to call it. It's not gonna happen. And just for reference, when these guys first came out on the Cloud logo, they had the real jeans and stuff, which again, it's not a big deal to me. I think this looks great the way it is. They were like $60, you know, and now, you know, like this one, the later wave, the yellow wave, I think retailed for around 90, and then with tax it would have been 100 with the box. I paid about $100 for this, and I thought that was a great deal. But I would prefer it to be cheaper. And if, you know, the collectors are watching my channel, which I hope they are, if you want to be able to get more stuff at a better price, the best way to do that is to just not buy the inflated stuff on eBay. And eventually the prices will have to go down because people won't be selling them. And if they're not selling them, then, you know, what's the point of even having them for sale? So that would be the best way to do it. There are people who like list a bunch of the same items on purpose at high prices. So on the search, they all come up as being priced that way, so you think that's just what they're going for, even though they're really not. That's kind of how the inflated prices on certain things start on eBay, is people do that, and then people who list them later see that this was listed at this price, and they think that's what it's worth, so then they list it at that price, and then you wind up with every single item listed at a ridiculously high price, and then people won't go down on it because they swear up and down that's what it's worth, but it's not necessarily worth that much. It's just somebody tried to price gouge at some point in time, and that's what happens, the repercussions of people doing that. So yeah, but I mean, these are collectible, but you know, I wouldn't definitely not spend over $100 on one of these personally, even if it was with the box. I just don't think it's worth it. So like around $60-70 honestly would be a fair price, I think, for what you get. I mean, these are made in China, so you know they're made as cheap as possible, and they're mass-produced items. So yeah, anyway, that's just me talking, I guess, but you can do what you want. That's just my opinion. Let's zoom in and have a little bit of a look at his face. I really like his, the face sculpt. I kind of like that they did the open mouth. To me, the closed mouth, when they have done it, you know, on the few that come with it, or the one, or I don't know if there's more than one, it looks creepy just the way they do it. I don't know, I don't like it. It doesn't like have the movie feel to me. It just looks weird. I prefer that, honestly. It's a little more inviting to look at to me. That's just me. Anyway, Zoom back out here. And I will take his hat off and we can have a look at the signature Woodies. Hand-stitched polyvinyl hat. Now, I'm sure this was done by a machine, but, and I don't know what material this is at all, but you know, it's a pretty, well, it got some flex to it. They painted the band. It has two holes in the back, of course, which is how they attached it in the box. I've seen some people say, well, I wish it didn't have the holes in the back. If it didn't have the holes in the back, they would have had to like put that plastic over it in the box where it's like glued. So then to get the hat out, you would have to rip that off and then ruin the back of the box. So I think they did that so it is, you can then use the box for display or whatever without destroying the box, which I don't have. It's not a big deal to me that I don't have it, like I said, but a lot of people like the box, and that's fine. Disney Pixar there. Of course, it's got the thread around there. If I said that already, you know, I'm sorry. It's not leather or anything, you know, it's just like, I don't know. It's a type of thread, but I really like the way it looks. Some people change that to leather. I want to keep it original because even if people like modded stuff, that's kind of like a specialty market kind of a deal mostly. Most people who are going to collect this and in the future, in my opinion, are going to want these stock like they were released. They're not going to want them modded and messed with. That's usually how collecting works with any kind of toy or anything. They want it original. They don't want it modded. Once it starts to, you know, like really pick up in worth or whatever, which I don't think is what's going on eBay right now. I think what's going on eBay right now, as far as some of the ridiculous prices, is price gouging. Which is ridiculous. Like I saw a utility belt buzz on there, on the sold stuff that somebody had bought for $1,200. I kid you not. There's other ones. Somebody got one in an auction. It didn't have the box, but it worked and everything, for $115 just like a month or two ago. And then somebody bought one in box for $1,500. So I mean, I wouldn't spend that much on it. I mean, it's a piece of plastic, you know. It's cool and everything, but it's a piece of plastic. You can buy a used car for $1,200. I don't know. Seems ridiculous to me. I think the prices on all toy store stuff needs to go down. Also, what is happening now, I've noticed, I'm going on a rant here, so apologize. As far as eBay and online sales, a lot of people are listing other forms of Woody that isn't the signature collection. And for some reason, they think it's the signature collection because they price it like it is. Like pricing a regular Toy Story 3 Woody for like $125 and stuff like that. You know, it's not, I don't know what's going on with it. It's annoying for people who want to collect the stuff at a fair price. I'm not saying, you know, it can't be, you know, it's not going to go up in worth or anything, but I mean, the way it's just gone up so fast that it's not going, I don't think it's going to maintain that. But I don't know. I wouldn't spend that much on it. So, I mean, prices get way too high. I'm not buying any, and I really think a lot of people shouldn't pay that, because if you don't pay it, the prices will go down. If people really want to get rid of the stuff, they won't stay that high if nobody pays that price. And people can fake paying the price too. They can have somebody else come in that they're related to or whatever, click buy it now, you know, and buy it just so it shows up as sold at that price. So then people look and say, oh, this sold for this price. Okay, you know, I mean, people do this stuff on eBay, so don't think that just because it's priced at a certain level, or whatever you want to call it, that it's really worth that much, because people will do all kinds of crooked things just to get more money for something that isn't really worth that much. So, you know, anyway, rant done, back to the review. Sorry about that. Okay, and there's all kinds of reviews of this, so I'm just decided to do mine too. Anyway, all right, so let's see here. His head does move, of course, back and forth. You can move him, so you can pose him different ways if you want. There's that. Obviously, you can pose him a little bit with his arms and everything. Did we take a look at his badge? Let's get a little bit of a better look at the badge. So it's a nice badge. It's just like a molded plastic badge. Again, I mean, look at the materials of this thing. I mean, it's cool. It's good. They don't make it anymore. Excuse me. But is it, is it worth $700? Do you think the materials in this is worth $700? It was made in China too. You know how much these probably were manufactured for? My guess is that they were probably made for about $15 a piece in China. And then they sold them to us for this particular release, this wave, for around $80, $90. So, I don't like price gouging and people who try to rip people off. So, and I haven't seen anybody. I've seen people talk about prices of this stuff and going, "Oh well, I think I'd pay at least $400, but no more than that for one of these in the box." No, and people are saying that when they have them like that because they are hoping that they can keep the price going up so that they can sell theirs if they want. Because they have a popular channel and they want to say, oh yeah, this is totally worth $400, and then in a week I'm going to put it on there for $400 after my video has 5 million views, and then somebody's going to get on there and think it's worth that because I said so, and they're going to buy it, and then the price goes up really high. So anyway, rant over. I'm just not a fan of prices going up that high for stuff like this. Especially that fast. It's just, I don't think it's good. Usually collectible toys, if the price goes up super high on something, I mean, it's been around a long time. So, anyway, and there's a lot of these out there too. It's not like there's, one. They made a lot of these. They made 3 different waves, and there was a lot of these sold. So, there's that too. Anyway, let's get into his holster. I guess I'll show you his holster real quick. So let's look at his holster. Yep, that's a look at his shoulder. Let me adjust my camera a bit here. So here's a look at his holster, and it has the swivel, like my Roundup Woody does too. So that is included, which is nice. This video is mostly a rant, so I was going to say it's a review, but I think it's just going to be Signature Collection Woody and rant on Toy Story collection prices or something. I don't know. Anyway. So what are his phrases? Let's see what his phrases are. People probably already know.
Reach for the sky. This town ain't big enough for the 2 of us. Yeah, partner, we gotta get this wagon train moving.
Neat thing about this is his pull string retracts. So
you're my favorite deputy.
It retracts quickly. It's not slow, but it still retracts, and it has a nice feel to it.
There's a snake in my boot. Reach for the sky.
So those are his...
Sheriff Woody and his deputy save the day.
Those are his main phrases in just toy mode. And as you can see, he'll talk to you too, if you talk to him. So sometimes when I snap, he'll talk. There he goes. So he just kind of talks when he wants
We
to.
gotta keep our eyes peeled for rustlers.
If
They're
he
a sneaky bunch.
if he hears you talking, eventually he'll say he's going to sleep, and then you'll have to like pull the string or whatever to wake him up again to get him to talk.
Look, there's
But-
a bandit.
but-
I fooled ya.
So that's kind of cool. So you could have like your collection Buzz and your collection Woody next to each other and have them set to that, and they'll kind of talk to each other. So he doesn't always respond,
You know, you are one fun deputy.
but he does, most of the time. It just depends, I guess, if the voice box recognizes your what you're saying or not. Anyway, also for his head,
Hey, where'd everybody go?
everybody's still here.
Oh, wait, that tickles.
Anyway, for his head, zoom in on that. He has the lines painted, line details,
Hey, where'd everybody go?
which is very nice, of course.
Everyone here? So, got any favorite cowboy songs? I'm kind of partial to Home on the Range and Old Susanna myself.
Home on the range. Anyway, so yeah, that's basically
Oh no, it looks like somebody's trying to rob the stage. We gotta stop him, partner. Come on.
that's basically it. And apparently, we have to go stop somebody from robbing the stage. So I better get going before that becomes a problem. Anyway, so there's my rant.
Can you help me gather up a posse? We need to stop those bandits.
Yeah, we better get going here. We got to stop some bandits. Anyway, that's my rant, my review of Collection Woody. So,
This town ain't big enough for the two of us.
also, one more quick thing before I leave. When you pull his string, it sounds more like a toy. When he's reacting to your voice and says something back to you, when you're talking, it just sounds more like forward and like less, I don't know, less muffled. So I don't know if like the voice box has two,
Yeah, partner. We gotta get this wagon train a-moving.
has two speakers where like one is like in the back or something and the other's in the front. So one sounds more forward than the other one. It's kind of neat that they did that. I think that's cool. I don't know if I've never heard anybody else mention that, but you can definitely hear it.
Hey, where'd everybody go?
Yeah, it's way more forward when he's reacting to your voice as compared to
You're my favorite deputy.
that. It just sounds more like a toy, and then the voice sounds, more like somebody's talking, I guess. So that's kind of neat. Anyway, really cool collection Woody. So if you can get one for a good price,
Hey, where'd everybody go?
I wouldn't pay more than $100 for any of the variants because there's all kinds of them. That's just me, in box or not.
Everyone here?
So maybe for the cloud, maybe 125, 150 in box or with box. Like I said, the battery thing is a concern, so I don't know. I'd probably rather stay around 100, but that's me. That's my opinion on what I would spend for this, and that's what I did spend. So, but if you're looking for one and you're looking at eBay and thinking the prices are ridiculous, they do come up on there, and on Macari. Macari is also a good site. They do come up on there.
Okay, time for this here llama to take a little nap.
He's bored of my review.
ya.
He's going to bed. They do come up on there for around $100. Sometimes a little under $100. Sometimes you can find super good deals too if somebody just really wants to get rid of it. So just look around. I wouldn't spend that much money on it myself. I'm just saying you can find a better deal. And if you don't spend the high money on all the stuff, the prices will come down because people won't be able to sell them for the inflated price. So anyway, it's just a little rant. I don't know what's going to happen. Doesn't bother me any, I guess, but I think more people should be able to have these in their collection and not have to spend a bunch of money because it's, it's a toy. So it's cool, but I mean, that's my opinion. Anyway, All right, so there's my rant, my review. So,
There's a snake in my boot.
gotta go get that snake out of the boot. See ya.